Hi everyone, and thanks a lot for tuning in. Today I'd like to talk to you about freediving. I'm planning to do so. I'm planning to learn to do that, and I'm planning to keep you posted on here because I feel like I'd like to share that with you. Yes, but well, maybe for starters, for you to know why I'm doing this, or at least where my ambitions come from. On one hand, I used to be a swimmer as a child very much. I used to swim a lot. I used to do water ballet. And I pretty much love being in the water and swimming and everything. But from time to time, I guess it started kind of like when I was like in the teens, like 12, 13, 14. It gradually started very slowly. I started to become afraid of the ocean and of swimming in general. I mean, in a pool wouldn't be a problem, but because I knew it would be a pool, but like in the ocean or in rivers or lakes, I would start to get very much afraid. It started growing when, like, I was growing in my age, as I was getting older. The whole fear would become even worse. It even started to become panicky. I remember one time, I think like 10 years ago, a friend of mine was saying, come on, let's go into this lake. Come on, it's just a small lake and it's an artificial one. There's nothing bad in there. Let's just go and swim, have a swim. And I said, okay, well, let's try. And we went in there, and halfway into the center of the lake, I just got so panicky. I think it was incredibly how fast I got out of the lake. But yeah, so that's just to show you a little bit on how big my fear was. But I think it was 4 years ago, we had a tragedy, we had a tragedy in our family that made me kind of like try to be more with people from my family. So and some of them were doing scuba diving. And I figured I like to do that because I like to spend time with them, and to be able to spend more time with them, I had to learn scuba diving. So I learned it, and it wasn't easy because I was still very fearful, but I kind of like overcame the fears a little bit so that I was okay to go diving. But it wasn't still like very perfect, but I had started to go. I realized I wanted to overcome this fear of the ocean, this fear of lakes, swimming, whatever, because I just feel like I needed to do that, and so in order to do that, I wanted to learn surfing. So I tried to learn surfing as well, and I did learn. I mean, at the end of the course, I was standing on the board, and was even starting to learn how to turn the board, but it wasn't easy. I mean, I had a couple of panic moments, and I remember at one point my surf teacher asking me why I was even trying to learn if I was so panicky with the ocean. But I said I'm trying to overcome this fear, and that's why I want to learn it, and to please have patience with me. And he actually did have. I'm very thankful for that. But still, it kind of like wasn't. I mean, it got a little bit better, but still, not so easy. So, I'm a very spiritual person, so I started doing shamanic things and meditations and stuff like that, and to get deeper into why I have this fear and trying to let go of the fear. And I think at the beginning of last year, I had a very big epiphany about it, and it kind of like just changed. I went diving with my family again in April, and that's when I realized that my fears had gone almost completely. I mean, maybe 1 or 2% are left. There might be moments where I kind of like feel uncomfortable, feel like I'm going to be pulled down, because that's was my biggest fear always. I'm not gonna deny that I will keep on having maybe in the future those moments, but it has changed from 100% to 1 or maybe 2%. So that is very amazing, because it has given me a completely new connection to the ocean, to the water, to the lakes, to rivers. I mean, especially with the ocean, because that's the one that had the biggest subject with me, so or topic with me, and that's why I kind of like wanted to. It got closer to the whole thing, and yeah, that's how somehow I've heard about freediving when I started doing surfing or learning surfing, because I'm not doing it very well yet still. But I started learning about freediving there, because I know that some surfers do practice freediving, or especially the freediving technique, breathing techniques, to know in case a big wave takes them. And the same is with scuba diving people, because if you do know how to free dive, you're going to use less air scuba diving. So those were the two on the physical side, the reasons why I got invested in free diving. And the third one actually came when I started learning things about freediving. I mean, when you're interested in the whole thing, you start reading books and start reading blogs and everything. And when I started reading about that, I realized, I mean, it's similar to my spiritual work that I do. I mean, you use meditation techniques, and you use techniques to overcome your fears. And after overcoming by myself the biggest fear that I had, I wanted to learn more, and it's I'm very much interested in how you do that to overcome the fears that come from your body, because it's going to be my body that says you need to breathe, and I'm going to learn to tell my body not to. So it's going to be very challenging for the mind, and that's one of the points that interests me a lot, because I'd like to know how to learn to get a mind that really tells my body how to function. Because it's a very spiritual side from me, because I believe that we can move a lot with our minds, but I haven't figured out how to make my mind move my body yet. So this is kind of like, I hope I'm going to be able to learn that with freediving. I'm not going to be interested in breaking any records of diving the deepest or the farthest or whatever. I'm just going to be happy if I'm going to be allowed to be underwater for maybe 2 minutes. So yeah. But still, I wanted to share this with you, because I think it's going to be an extremely wonderful experience, an interesting experience. And yeah, I hope maybe show you a little bit of the freediving world. So yeah, about the whole thing, how it's going to work. For now, I am registered for the basic course of freediving in about 3 weeks. It's going to be a weekend. I have my login details for an online course that I have to take before that. I do that online course, and then I'm going to have the Saturday afternoon, I think, with my instructors to speak about whatever questions come up, and speak about the breathing techniques and the buddy system, because like every good sport, you have a buddy system. So I'm going to learn how to take care of someone else freediving, and how to react or what to expect of a freediving buddy. And and also the breathing techniques, very important to learn how to cool yourself down, how to bring yourself down a pace, to cool down, to be more relaxed, because that's what you have to learn to be underwater. And and then on the Sunday we're going to go into a pool with our fins. I I am probably going to use the things that I have from scuba diving, which are my glasses or my mask, sorry, it's called mask, and my fins. They are probably too heavy and too big. The mask is probably too big and the fins are a little bit too heavy to keep on going with it. But I thought for the beginning, I'm just going to stick to the old stuff. Maybe during the course I'll try out the specially free dive ones. But I'll keep you posted on all that, on how it feels, how it works and everything. Because, yeah, I think the important thing is just to get started at some point, and that's why I want to get started with the course first, and then we'll see how it goes. And, yeah, if everything goes well on that Sunday, we're going to dive 30 meters long distance, which means just head underwater and then go 30 meters. And I think we're going to do 1.5 minutes static, no breathing, which means head underwater and being on one place, head underwater, one breath, and then 1:30, I think. So that's going to be the start for that, as 1:30 sounds very long for me. I'm already training. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to, but I wanted to see where my body takes me, because I've heard a lot that up until I think 2.5 minutes, it's pretty easy to get there, to bring your body to do 2.5 minutes. And apparently it goes very fast. So I thought I'll try, because I'm trying the part that you're allowed to do by yourself, that is okay, that I'm not going to kill myself with that. It's just breathing very, very deeply in and out, which means exhaling, pressing your belly in, and then inhaling completely, pressing your belly out, like really using the whole volume of your whole lungs, and then doing that a couple of times in and out, and then you take your last breath, and then you start using the clock. And then I started off with 35 seconds. I started last week already trying that. And I started with 35 seconds, which is basically, I think the normal human being uses 35 seconds to 45 seconds. So yeah, I started with that. And then I practiced that. I had myself, the same day I had myself on 55 seconds. And I think the next day or the day after that, I already had myself at 1:17. Then I kind of took a break because I had some working stuff to do. And then this week I practiced before, and I got myself on 56 seconds on the first try and 1:07 on the second try. So I'm going to keep on practicing. I might try another time again today. Yeah. So that's kind of a thing. Another thing that maybe might be important for you to know, or so that you know, another motivation that I have with this whole thing is, I started smoking when I was 16, and I stopped smoking now about a month ago. I know it's not much, so I don't want anyone to go like, "Ooh, she stopped smoking," because if I manage a year, then everyone can go, "You-hoo." But for me, the motivation is to actually not do it, because I'm learning freediving. I mean, it's not the only motivation, but it's kind of like I'm rewarding myself by learning freediving. It might sound weird, but it's helping me to try to keep clean with my own lungs for that. So I hope that's going to work. So yeah, I'll keep you posted on that. So thanks a lot for watching, and yeah, have a good day, and I'll keep you posted with my next stuff. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.